Hello, and welcome to the Exponential Growth Podcast, powered by Analyst Investors. I'm your host, David Olivencia, co-founder of Analyst Investors, and a passionate advocate for leveraging innovation and technology to drive success. Let's get started. This is Exponential Growth.
All right. Well, hey, welcome to the Exponential Growth Podcast. This is going to be an exciting session, exciting podcast that we have today. We are live in Chicago, in Salvi Studios, the newly created Salvi Studios, and we're going to talk. And I'm with dear friend, co-founder, and the host of the CEO series, the Emmy award-winning CEO series, Will Salvi. How's it going?
I did the reach around of the mic. It's tough. Thank you for having me.
No, it's great, and I've been really looking forward to this one. And you know, I've seen a lot of your CEO series, so it's a bit of a high bar.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
So we're gonna chop it up today. So look, what we do in Exponential Growth is we're in this world of a lot of exponential growth and change, whether it's technology, growth, disruption, and we talk about really what are these trends, right? Mm-hmm. And then how do you best invest in them, and how do you lead in this environment of exponential growth and change? And you've been a part of that with Salvi and how that's grown. I think your CEO series has grown, but you're now operating in this environment of content creation and AI. So we're gonna chop it up and talk a little bit about these areas.
I love it.
But let's start out with you, Will, and would love to just hear a little bit about you and because you're out there in the CEO series and you're doing a great job there, but I don't know if everybody knows about Will. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, it all begins in 1991. I'm just, but no, I founded this company with my brother Chris about 7 years ago, and originally we started as a kind of like a full service marketing agency, and we had no experience doing it. So we went into it, completely blind to how this all works. And we quickly realized like we were way in over our heads with regards to all marketing services. So we really gravitated towards video. And we actually went to Best Buy and bought a camera, and it was like a photography camera. It wasn't the right camera. So we just a lot of learning.
$299.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. This is a great deal. Then it didn't work. No, but we gravitated to video. We were like a video production company. Our company has had a couple of iterations. So the first couple of years we were more focused on video, content creation, project based, just trying to hustling and getting deals. Then we started to do more agency work, like trying to be a creative agency. We realized we weren't really great at that either. I mean, the competition in creative agencies is it's very high. And then we just started focusing more on executives actually through the CEO series. We started the CEO series about a month before COVID started. And we got Ed Waymer of Wintrust was our very first guest. Yep. And he's a great guest.
Yeah. Great way to kick it off.
Great way to kick it off. He was actually, I always give him a shout out because he's been a mentor of ours, but he also introduced us to Tom Ricketts, the owner of Chicago Cubs, Jerry Reinsdorf of the Bulls and the White Sox, and then like Greg Brown of Motorola and Pat Gallagher of Gallagher Insurance. Those four people are like monsters in Chicago, in the business world. Right. So that got us kicked off into
the momentum going.
Yeah. And so they all said yes, actually, because of Ed. It wasn't because of us. I didn't have some great pitch to them. It was Ed. And so after that, the reason I'm bringing the CEO series up so soon is because we started to transform our agency business into more of an executive communications agency, which is what we do now. And Chris, my brother, is the CEO and the brains behind that. So we've been doing the CEO series for about 5 years or so. Mm-hmm. We only started focusing on it, truly focusing on it in the last year and a half, 2 years, where it was my sole responsibility was the business behind the CEO series, both the guests and the actual content. And then on top of that, the business side of it, partnerships, monetization, et cetera. Not sure where you want me to go in terms of my personal side, but I'm happy to.
Look, I mean, you played football at Notre Dame.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's, not everybody knows that. You're on the CEO, but not a lot of people know that.
I can give you a quick overview of before we started this agency, because I kind of was all over the place. So we went to Notre Dame together, me and my brother Chris. We played football together. He was good though. I was not. Yeah. Let's make that clear. I was a walk-on for 1 year. He had 5 years under his belt playing, and he played, and he got a scholarship. He was awesome.
Yeah.
I played 1 year, and we played together. It was great. I went to D.C. was my first job out of college. Worked for a senator from Indiana, Joe Donnelly. He became the ambassador to the papacy or the Holy See.
Yeah.
Which was really cool. And then I moved back to Chicago. I did that for about 2 years. I moved back to Chicago. I worked for a company called Ray's Holdings.
Okay.
That's a food and beverage distributor. It's actually like the 7th or 8th top 10 largest private company in the U.S.
Oh, wow.
It's a really great company and very well run. And
what was the name of the company again?
Ray's Holdings.
Oh, Ray's Holdings. Yeah. Okay.
And then we jumped into this. Yeah. We wanted to, we always were entrepreneurial. We always wanted to kind of run our own business and be entrepreneurial. And I think the biggest thing too is Chris and I have always wanted to do something together.
Yeah.
And we always wanted to almost like control our own time and not to sound corny, but you control your own destiny when it's your own business. Yeah. And that always excited us. So here we are now.
And, and you guys have, talk about exponential growth, but it's really taken off, the CEO series, because you talked about the momentum, how it started off. But it hasn't stopped there, and what I like about the CEO series is it's a diverse set of founders. You've got startups that have become unicorns. You've got Fortune 500s. Mm-hmm. You've got different industries, and the way you portray them in different areas, and the insights, and maybe even the distribution. Like you can maybe talk a little bit about the diverse CEOs you've had, but a little bit about the distribution, who's watching it, how it's kind of exploded.
Yeah. So I'm glad you mentioned that, because we're very passionate about being agnostic to what type of CEO we feature, whether that's again a disruptor or a company that's raised tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars in some cases. Public companies, legacy brands, Fortune 500. So we want the variety of CEOs and we want the variety of companies just because that's what we're interested in. Yeah. And the distribution points, we currently have a couple of distribution points. One of them is Cheddar, which is like a financial tech channel, and that is a linear channel. So that is like literally we can go on TV or Comcast and it's on there. Okay. Or YouTube TV or Hulu Live, whatever. It's a 24-minute episode is our runtime of an episode. It is a produced show. So I want to make that clear. Like this podcast, as an example, is like a straight through podcast. Me and you are talking, which is different than like a produced show where we film for, say, an hour and a half and then we edit it down to the 24 minutes. Yeah. But we have it on Cheddar, entrepreneur.com, as well as Entrepreneur TV. It's like one of their streaming services. And they have a couple affiliate partners. And then it's also on Reach TV, which is an airport business traveler network. They replace CNN in the airports. So it's a really unique value add for some of these CEOs to come on. They don't pay for it, but it's a good PR placement for them. So that's what's valuable for them and their PR teams. I've noticed that they come on when good things are happening or bad things are happening. It's like they're either telling us about something that's good or they're doing some problem PR. Yeah, some communications for like they're trying to get their brand back out there. So honestly, I love doing it.
Okay,
it's awesome.
Well, you're great at it. I mean, it comes through in what you put out there. So kudos. And
Thank you.
And it's just kind of warming up. I mean, you got so much, and I get a sense of what's coming. But also, let's talk about Salvi Studios, right? So we're right here, right in the heart of Chicago, right? Google's
right
kind of
next
Chicago
door.
Headquarters. They're putting a ton of money here. Talk a little bit about, kind of why Chicago, why Salvi Studios, what's your vision for this, and how this is going to propel you for the next set of exponential growth.
Yeah, well, one is we're firm believers and homers to Chicago. Chris and I love Chicago. We believe in the city. I think there's a wide variety of businesses and diversity here, and there's also diversity of business here. It's not just like tech. It's not just manufacturing. It's there's a lot of big businesses here, and we love that about Chicago. This podcast room that we're in, this is our first recording,
Yeah,
by the way.
that's
Very
what-
exciting.
yeah,
Very
exactly.
exciting.
We'll record this, and I don't know, 5-10 years from now, when you guys are huge, big, we'll come back to this.
Yeah, we better. And but no, I mean, it's all about content, right? Like that's what we want to do, is we want to continue to create, curate, and be masters of executive content. That's our mission right now and for the years to come. And so I think Chicago is a great hub for that. We do love the niche of executive content, specifically C-suite content on our end.
Yeah.
Hence our push into original content with the CEO series, the CEO Roundtable. We have another series launching in Q2. And then on the agency side, back to my point earlier, Chris is leading, we are solely focused on the executive teams, employee-generated content, and using the executives as influencers within their business and within their industry. Executives should be creating content about their business or about their industry or about whatever expertise they have. They are losing value if they do not. That's our thesis.
And I think it's a competitive advantage or disadvantage, because if you're not doing it and your competitors are, I believe it's a disadvantage for you. So I think it's a key. And I think even more, like as you move deeper into this digital age, is going to be more,
absolutely,
more and more important.
And younger people, younger CEOs, younger executives, you see it already. They're good at creating content. They're used to it.
Yeah.
They're used to having a camera in front of them and posting it online. They're not worried about it. Whereas the older school CEO or boardroom type person, they're in the boardroom, they're focused, their heads down, like, don't share too much. That's not what the young
risk side,
yeah,
right?
too much risk. Whereas now it's like you're losing value because people want to hear your opinion on things. They want to know your values, where it's not just like a corporate video saying like, and we care about culture here. It's like, no.
Values, integrity.
Yeah, integrity.
Shareholder
tell
value.
me about how integrity, tell me about integrity by telling me a story, and showing me that you're about integrity, not telling me that you're integrity. So, and I think younger CEOs and the best CEOs do that now, or the best executives do that. They push their message because the digital landscape is much greater than it's big. It's everything. Everything's on. Yeah. I can talk to someone in India tomorrow, or today, and you can reach so many people digitally. So if you're not sharing whatever you want to share online, big mistake, truly.
And you're missing big markets, right?
Yeah.
And so that gets us to, this podcast, Exponential Growth, all these digital tech trends, big trends that are happening out there. What, and you see a lot of them. What do you think are the top 1, 2, 3 major kind of tech disruptors that you would put out there that people should just be aware of?
I'll stay in my lane and talk about media and content creation for this, just because I don't have the expertise to talk about certain technologies in other fields. But, I will say we've implemented a lot of artificial intelligence tools into our processes. And that can be as simple as ChatGPT, or it can be a transcribing AI tool, or it can be an actual content creation tool. And so I know everyone is probably saying AI. I assume.
A lot of them.
I assume. Yeah.
A lot of them are. And it's a big one. It's a transformational one.
Yeah.
And there's others, but it's the elephant in the room.
It's
the
thing.
big, and it's pervasive because it's across everything. But so AI.
AI and specifically it's just creating there's no barrier to entry now. It's like, let's start creating content. Anyone can do it. You can start creating really good content and utilize AI tools to streamline it, make it faster, make it better.
Yeah.
It's cheaper. And I truly believe the ones that we're using, we're in the early innings still with it. So I'm interested to see where AI comes to play on a storytelling, because you and I have shared text messages or LinkedIn messages together where we show a video of completely generated
world leaders
talking,
cats or dogs singing songs. Right?
Yeah,
Don't
it's
you want me
unbelievable.
like me?
Yeah, and I just saw one where they're showing a POV of a soldier in the 1700s.
Yeah.
And it's like, follow me, and it's almost like he's doing a vlog on a camera.
Yeah,
but he's like a
you
revolutionary.
World War I. Or,
yes,
or
literally.
the
I saw one in Egypt the other day. There's an account on Instagram. I'll send it to you. It's actually really cool, and it still looks like it's AI, and there's still up, but it's really good.
Amazing.
Like it's really good.
Well, and so like if AI can do that, right? And so you might argue the cost to create this stuff goes down, the quality goes up. How does one differentiate themselves in a world where, okay, quality goes up? Anybody, I can type in world leaders, I can type in a theme, I can say, hey, give me what would be the most a viral theme that would catch people's attention with world leaders? AI is going to tell me, AI is going to create it, AI can tell you the best way to distribute it. So how does one compete? Like what do you believe is like how people compete and win? Call it content creators, or even in the business that you're in.
Yeah, it's a good question. I do think that right now, at least, and maybe for the next few years, whoever can utilize these tools the best is how you win. Like if you say, like, again, back to the prompts to one of these generative AI tools. Like if you're best at utilizing that or best at prompting the AI to create something great, like you're probably gonna have an advantage on the person who's just like creates it and they get lazy with it and they're like, give me a picture of George Washington and whatever. But the people who are best at prompting these tools will win. That said, like who knows where this goes? Yeah. Because the way everyone describes AI is that you won't even need to prompt them that well, and it's just going to keep creating it better and better and better. And also, what tools are you using? I use ChatGPT like daily. Yeah. And I know a lot of people do.
Yeah. I know a lot of people that don't.
I know a lot of people that don't. I mean,
it's
crazy.
There's multiple, right? But I just like, it's a second brain. It's like a.
It's crazy to me. Yeah.
So like, why wouldn't you be using and leveraging and asking it questions and stuff like that?
We just got like a contract in, and what I would previously, it takes me a while to read it, and you want to read it very, very tightly and make sure you're getting every word. And I still do that myself, but I'm like, I'm also going to run it through ChatGPT. Give me, like, I'm asking it questions. Is there anything? Opinion. Absolutely. Yeah. So, and then obviously we go through the lawyer, but I guess my question is to all this is like, which jobs? I don't think it'll replace jobs. I just think it'll just force people to adapt. I don't view it any different than, there are certain people who probably didn't want to use the computer when the personal computer started coming out, and then there were better and better computers, and there were people who started using those computers and using the power of those computers better than the past ones. So it's like it's just a new technology, and the people who are able to use it more efficiently and better are the ones who are going to win.
Yeah. So any other technologies, or you say now you're going to stick in your lane, and then anything else you want to add on like how you guys are using AI, for that advantage, or things you can share, because it's a competitive advantage. I don't necessarily want you to share.
No. I mean, we like I love talking about this because it's kind of back to the content creation. The barrier to entry is so low. Specifically
and getting lower,
and getting lower.
These are only going to get better. I mean, if you look at how fast it's happened in the last, like AI videos are in the last 6 months have just exploded.
Crazy. Yeah, literally 6 months.
That's called exponential growth. Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
right. I mean, and you've seen it online. I see it on LinkedIn now. It's not just fun bullshit Instagram videos. It's everywhere. Yeah. No, I think that the creation of content previously was expensive. It still is expensive. Like you still need like a physical film crew to film this, right? Yeah. Like when people are involved, like, you can create fake stuff for a 20-second video, but what good does that do for a business right now? And we don't really know. But if they are able to create a vast amount of content and create a vast library of content and it's good, that back to it, a competitive advantage. Like if you're a B2B business, your competitors are probably not doing that. Mm-hmm. If you're a manufacturing business or if you're a concrete business, like you should be doing that. It doesn't matter what industry it is. I agree. It doesn't matter if you're in a sexy industry or a boring industry or whatever. You should be creating more content. Back to the digital landscape. It's so vast. You never know what customer could be out there. You never know what client could be out there. You never know what partnership could be out there. Like, why would you not try to reach across that and try to grab some of them? That's what we're doing. So in terms of what we use, I'll just give you one, and I'm sure you use it for this podcast. A lot of creators do, but like AI tools where you insert a main video and it creates a lot of social media content. Yeah. And what was previously done by a human
manually, right?
Manually, with the captions. And I remember 5 years ago, putting captions on a video was a pain. someone would literally have to type it in, and, there were starting to be tools to make it easier, but not really. Someone would have to like literally copy and paste it or put it in, and then you have to choose text and everything. And these tools make it so simple to just click and do it very simply. And all of a sudden, a video that I filmed for an hour, now I have that hour-long video that was more expensive, but now I have 10 to 20 social shorts, snippets of that can hopefully either market that video or put it out there or distribute it all over the place.
Right. Multi-channel. Right?
Multi-channel.
YouTube,
and by the way, I can ask ChatGPT for a full strategy on what to do with all this. I can say, hey, ChatGPT, I have a... So that's where I think, like, if people continue to dive into that, and they are, you'll just continue to see the fruits of those loins, because I just think most people should be doing this. Specifically, non-creators, non-sexy businesses. I think there's a massive opportunity in that. No one's doing it in boring businesses, and they should be.
And even like and then your niche at the executive level, right? The C-suite
CEO
level.
suite.
I mean, it's a huge. So if you're a CEO listening, CXO listening to it, get connected with the team at Salvi.
Just go to salvimedia.com and
to make it happen. No, but I think it's all in all sincerity, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's now investments, right? So we, there's all these exponential trends, AI, all these different things that are going on. You guys are, you guys are also growing. When you think about investments and where do you best place your bets to invest? It could be investing, personally. It could be investing venture. It could be investing for the growth of Salvi, right? What are your recommendations to the listeners on what they should think about investing in these times of exponential growth?
Yeah. So first is I listened to my brother Chris. I just want everyone to know that, and I listened to you too, David, and Adela, and I listened to people closer, because I will say I wanted to. When I saw your question, when you let me know, I was like, "Ooh, man, I don't know if I'm able to answer that well, this question that well." Well, one, I'll answer it as best I can.
Okay.
I will say I have made a good investment with Angeles, and but that was Chris. I'm going to give him credit. Can we give a shout out to that company? Is that okay on this bite? Are you okay? Canella Media. It's I hope it keeps going. Yeah. But first off, I try to not like outsmart myself with, if say we're at a pitch night and there's multiple founders pitching their businesses. I think first and foremost, I try to not outsmart myself and try to like find a diamond in the rough or anything. It's like, no, I want to make sure that the founders they seem like good people. They seem like they have integrity. They seem like they're doing the right things. They're saying the right things. They have a bit of a track record to show that they've done the right things. Like that's all signs pointing green, right? And then the business itself, is it something that I'm interested in personally? Do I see the problem that they're trying to solve? Do I see the product that they're trying to sell? Does it make sense to me? If those two things don't really align, then it's kind of like I probably should stay away from it, because now I'm just trying to like throw money at something and hopefully it grows. Not to sound like too simplistic about it, but those are two things that I look out for pretty significantly. Like, do I understand the business?
Yeah.
Because if I don't understand the business, it's like, why am I throwing money into it? Which I think a lot of people don't follow that, because you get these words thrown at you, or a founder saying, I've done this, I've done that. And all of a sudden now you feel like sexy, like this could be an explosion of wealth. And that could be true, but that's just my personal philosophy. It's like, if I don't understand the business fully to some degree, it's like, it's hard for me to, dive into that.
Yeah,
that's
good. No, it's
good.
Good.
Is that the most basic answer you've heard in investing?
But sometimes it's not that off of what what Warren Buffett would say, like understand the business.
I do think I'm
simple,
similar to Warren.
Right?
I just say Warren. Me and him are on a first name.
No, but there is a bit of there's a bit of simplicity to it. You listen to different investors in different areas, right? And there's some that just are very invest in businesses that you understand and right? That's like just a big one, right?
Well, like Canella Media. Let's stay on that example. Yeah. How I would describe it to myself is a Netflix for a Hispanic audience.
Yeah.
Okay? That makes sense to me. It makes sense as to why there wasn't one prior to Canella Media. It's like, why wasn't there one?
Yeah.
They're making original content. They're making reality television. They're making original shows. that all makes sense to me. Again, for a Hispanic audience, the audience is huge. This is all like in my head. I'm thinking to myself like, this is a no brainer. So, and then there's businesses that pitch, say at Analyst Investors at pitch nights, and I don't understand the business at all. Whether it's a AI company for, some payment system for, I don't know, whatever the example is. It's like, I don't understand the market. I don't understand that at all. So I'm going to stay away from it, or I'll try to learn more about it. But you know what I mean? I'm
not that. I mean, I want to make sure I understand. Is it just, do I understand the business model? Is it simple? Because the more complicated it gets, there's more things that can break and problems that can happen. So it's like, no.
Absolutely. I love asking the founders, like whenever we're at those things, is like, what problems are you dealing with, or what do you wish? Like, I think like simpler questions too help me. They just help me when I'm wondering about some of these companies, or should I invest or should I not? And this goes for any company that I invest in, not necessarily something from a angel group like this, or whether it's investing into a company on E-Trade or something. I kind of ask the same questions, like what's the basic like market look like? What are they trying to do? What's their leadership look like? Those
are good. I mean, all good, and everybody kind of has their own little thesis on what they look at, invest. Some are similar, and it's all these like. And for the the listeners out there, I think it's just we have a series of leaders who come and say, "Hey, this is how I'm thinking about investing, and here's the insight there." So, thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
So
now, if you use it, make sure you credit me. Me and Warren.
If Will told me to invest in this,
he said, "Simple, David." Oh, brilliant! Yeah.
So. Thank you for all of that. So what's next for you, and what's next for Salvi? We're kind of share where this is going. I think we have a general sense, but I think there's maybe a little bit more you can share about what can the listeners out there expect from Salvi and yourself, Will, the next five years or so.
Yeah, so we are diving into executive content, like I had mentioned. The CEO series is in full force right now. We have a lot of great guests coming up, and I'll name a few. Like we got Maker's Mark coming up. It's a fun brand that everyone knows Maker's Mark, right? And that's important to us too. Is when you sign up a CEO.
I did the bourbon.
That's what we're doing. I'm doing it with the CEO. Yeah, he's giving me a tour.
That's a good time.
Goodyear tires. There's a Silicon Valley billionaire. We're going to do it in a spacesuit, literally.
Okay.
And he's gone to space with Blue Origin, and we're going to do that.
That's really cool.
So our guest list keeps getting better and better with the CEO series, and same with the CEO Roundtable, which is another series that we're doing quarterly. Okay. So as you can see, we're creating a lot of shows that focus on executives. We're launching a new series soon called the Tech Series. I will not be hosting that. And then we're launching a brand that hosts all these in about like a month or two.
Okay.
That's our main focus in the short term. But honestly, I want to get to the Microsoft CEO, and that's our goal, truly.
So Satya, if you're listening, make it happen.
It will happen. Don't worry, Satya. If you are listening, we'll see each other soon. It will happen.
What are you waiting for?
Yeah, what are you waiting for? This is the best video you're going to be on. So that's our original content side. Specifically, we're working on partnerships and monetization of it. So advertising on the show. But we honestly, like the next 10 guests that I have, I did not reach out to them. PR companies came to us and they said, "Hey, we want here's 5 CEOs that we have. Would you like to feature any of these 5?"
Yeah, that's where you've hit it. Where
it's a great.
You spend all this time, reach out, and then now it's coming to you.
You have no idea. I've sent like 2,000 emails to people where they're like, "No, not at this time."
Gosh.
Binny's is one where I'm sorry, Binny's. I'm throwing you under the bus. But like Binny's was like I've asked them 10 times, and this was 3 years ago. Will you be on like Binny's? It's a big Chicago brand. Yeah. Like, would you be on it? No. And like clearly no interest. They didn't even run it by the CEO. I can tell by the email. It's like wasn't even considered. And now I wouldn't even consider them. No offense. No offense to Binny's. And by the way, I'm a customer. I love Binny's. But my point is like that makes us feel good. Is that there's a level of trust with the interview. We always tell the PR teams we can ask them whatever we want or talk about whatever we want. There's no edits. There's no like they don't get to edit something out of it. The first 20 videos.
Yeah, because some of these marketing go, the
comms
no,
teams.
what's going to be? They get in there.
Yeah, so it's important to us to be like, hey, look, like we have a level of trust with all these CEOs. We're starting to go. Like I'm going to Toronto next week I'm going to Build-A-Bear tomorrow for the Build-A-Bear CEO. Which, by the way, since COVID, they've been up 700% in their stock. So they've been crushing it. People are, and I thought this too. I was like, Build-A-Bear, are they still alive? Literally, I thought that. She's doing really well. Her name's Sharon Price John. I'm excited to talk to her. And then next week, I'm going to Toronto for Thomson Reuters. Wow. The Reuters, but they also have a law and I think tax. Like they're a very $10 billion company. Trump just tweeted about Reuters, so I'm excited to talk about that with the CEO. He talked about their media brand, but and so like that excites me because we want to be someone where CEOs feel like they can come in and talk about their business, talk about themselves, talk about their initiatives, talk about hot topic issues. Like what's it like when a president tweets about you in a way it's not happy. It was confrontational. What's that like as the CEO? That brings a lot of outside noise to your company. How do you operate like that? So I'm interested in his thoughts on that. But the next 5 years, we're going to continue to drive that portion of the business. In terms of Salvi, the agency, our executive communications agency, Chris would have a better answer for this because he's the one truly leading it. But, we're just trying to be best in class at what we do, creating like B2B media assets for companies to drive outcomes for their companies. We don't just want to make a video to put on your website and hopefully it goes well. No, we want to make content to drive outcomes, specifically and hopefully sales. Yeah. Like that's what content's for, right? You don't want to you can do it for culture, you can do it for brand awareness. That's all good stuff. But we want to do it to where the business says we got to keep driving this with Salvi, the agency. Yeah. And so we're just growing that, continuing to create the infrastructure around that. We're not some big agency. The agency model is tough. Yeah. There's a lot of
and it's going to get tougher.
And it's going to get tougher. I will say I think the agency model like at bigger agencies is bloated. From my knowledge and from our experiences, it seems like, say, one big account that a big agency has, they have a ton of people on their staff just for that account. I don't think that'll exist in the future. Yeah. But that's what we're striving to do. We're trying to compete. Yeah, trying to get big clients, and but we know we have to keep working our way up there. The CEO series and the CEO roundtable is in full force, and we're really excited. I'm honestly really excited. I wasn't kidding about the Microsoft CEO. I think it'll happen at the end of 2025 or early 2026.
Wow, it's amazing. And so it's very exciting, and you're going to continue to ride that curve of exponential growth. You're in that great niche. You're executing on that. So very confident that this stuff will happen and more.
Thank you.
As you can. So how do people get in touch with you and Salvi on social? What are the social handles to get in touch with you and follow you guys?
So we're on, I believe we're on all of them. So our content is all on our YouTube channel. So the CEO series is the channel. Yep. I will say it's going to switch to our new brand name soon. Okay. The CEO series will be under that brand. Okay. So, but that's our main flagship show, flagship product, if you will. And, so we're on Instagram as well, the CEO series, and I'm on social as well. I'd love for anyone to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm a big LinkedIn homie.
Oh yeah, you are.
Yeah, big on LinkedIn, and you're great on LinkedIn.
I'm all right. I do what I can.
Do what I can. I do it for the people. But
it's kind of what you mentioned though, in terms of you got to put it out there. So, but I want to thank you for coming on the show. I think we had a lot of great content. I wish the Salvi, the CEO series, the Emmy award-winning CEO series.
Wait a minute. We kept forgetting to say that right before each time we restart. Yeah.
But no, it was great having you on, and just wishing you tons and tons of success in the future. So excellent. And we'll be in touch.
Thank you, David. And I just want to say, I want to close out by saying, Chris and I appreciate you more than you know. And you're awesome. You've been a great partner and friend and mentor. And, we owe a lot to you as well. So thank you.
Well, hey, I appreciate it. And so many great things ahead. So many great things ahead.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks, bro.
Cool.
All right.